Knowing what to do in the event of a tornado can save your life.
And more tri-staters are spending thousands of dollars to better protect their families. And Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons is here to introduce our special report tonight.
It's kind of an interesting special report, and of course if you've been watching some of our weather radio events, we've had these storm shelters on display. But you know, we talk about weather radios and the importance of having that, but there's something else you need when storms threaten, and that's a safe place to go. Chad Seawitch joins us now from outside the 14 News studios with more on the skyrocketing sales of safe rooms. Chad.
And Jeff, we're looking right now at an above ground safe room, which weighs about 1.5 tons. And when it's anchored down, it can withstand winds well over 200 miles per hour. For businesses that sell safe rooms, like Integrity Storm Shelters, they become one of the hottest tickets. In fact, they're having a hard time keeping them in stock. For more than 6 years, Quentin Wilkerson says his house has been missing something, a safe place to go when storms threaten.
We went to the probably the bathroom or an inside closet or the bedroom.
The deadly November 6, 2005 tornado destroyed neighborhoods just a few miles from the Wilkersons' Newburgh home. And ever since, Quentin has wanted a storm shelter. Peace of mind finally came 2 months ago when he had this underground shelter installed in his garage. His family has already used it twice.
This one here works better for our family just because, you know, we can access from in the house. We didn't want to go outside the house during the storm.
When a storm threatens, the safest place to be is below ground. Unfortunately, many new homes, in fact most of them, are not constructed with basements or storm shelters. So it's up to you to know the safest place to go to in your home when a storm threatens. A growing number of tri-staters are building either above or below ground storm shelters. Integrity Storm Shelters has been installing underground shelters for 7 years. After last year's record number of tornadoes, business spiked 50% and another 20% after this year's Leap Day and March 2nd storms. On this day, crews were busy installing 2 shelters in Hopkins County. Emergency management officials say the trend is encouraging.
If you can afford to do that and you have the property to do it on and everything, I think it's a good idea.
Vanderburgh County EMA Director Sherman Greer says anytime there's a tornado outbreak anywhere in the U.S., it gets people thinking about their safety.
When you have 130 plus tornadoes within a 1 day or a 24 or 48 hour period, that is a lot of gives a lot of incentive for people to start preparing for themselves.
When looking for a shelter, FEMA recommends you find one that can withstand 3 seconds of 250-mile-per-hour winds and has a protected ventilation system. Underground shelters should be watertight and have a signal to alert emergency crews of the location. All shelters should also be equipped with a first aid kit, fire extinguisher, flashlight, drinking water, and a weather radio.
The dew point was 66, making the relative humidity 68.
And again, there are several types of shelters. This one seats about, or stands, I guess, about 5 to 6 people, and this door weighs 800 pounds. And look who I have here. This is you probably remember this guy, but it's really essential when you don't have a basement, or even if you have a basement. You know, these are the kind of things that you really want to look for, because we've got some very volatile weather.
They are, and the things like a bank fault here.
Yeah.
What does something like this cost?
Well, it really depends on how elaborate it is, how big it is. Really, about $3,000 to $4,000 for your basic model, but it can go up to about 10 grand when you're talking about, you know, 15, 20 people that you want to fit in here.
Yeah.
And as you know, this isn't really built for comfort. You're not going to stand in there for hours on end, hopefully, but certainly very, very safe when you've got 250 mile per hour winds.
You can put folding chairs in there, though,
you could
if you
do
want.
that.
You're
Yeah,
going to be in there for a
absolutely.
little while.
Yes.
So, yeah, they are really interesting, and as you said, I think folks are definitely more interested in it with all the active weather we've had.
It's amazing the comments I've gotten already just before this story aired, just how many people are interested in these type of things.
All right. Well, Chad, thanks for the report. We'll be back with the First Alert forecast and a look at the American Queen in just a minute.